Welcome a few seconds early to another SOP live stream. Tonight, of course, it's Friday night. It's weekly news roundup. And we'll try to be polite about it. But you know how things go. So we're going to give it a few minutes for others to start wandering in here. We've got two, and one of those I do believe is Uncle Al, who ran away.
There we go.
Of course, you've got Gil hiding down at the bottom this time. No, he's not. We'll put him at the top because he is the senior most expert here. So,
Whoa.
oh boy, you put the man at the top, and what's he do? He starts playing games. What can I say? There's Miss Nina, Discover Sustainable. Hopefully, you're staying cool down there, young lady. Your little deck and patio is starting to look pretty nice. And there's Mr. Al. Shady Hill, good evening.
Hey,
Just
Shady
for those
Hill.
wondering, before I get too far started, I am under a tornado warning. One has recently touched down over in Indiana, which is about 20 miles as a crow flies, roughly. So, yeah, I may have to disappear. If so, I will leave it up and running so Gil and Al can keep going with it. There's Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. What's on the dinner plate for tomorrow? And there's Stringfield Ridge. Good evening. Oh, don't worry. I plan on staying safe. Shelley Hill Pine Tree. Hello. CB, good evening. Wait a minute. Mama Z, don't tell me what's on the dinner plate for tomorrow. I might get hungry and have to go eat. Hey, Christy.
Ooh, swordfish.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Y'all can have that one. I'm going to stay right here in the Buckeye State and try and stay dry and not get blown away. We have had power flickers here within the last 15 minutes, so I do have to keep an ear open for the tornado siren, which I can hear through these, so it's no big deal. We are up to 9 people in the chat.
Hey, Mary Beth.
I am CB. I am keeping a close eye on it. I can feel the temperature change in the wind outside already, so it's been muggy and warm all day. So, seeing as how I just said it's been warm and muggy all day, let's go ahead and cover a little bit of heat. The West enters day 7 of heat wave. For all you people out west, which includes 2 of the people up here on the panel, y'all's hot. And not being a keyboard warrior or nothing like that, or Mr. Perfect grammatologist, but I did find a grammatical error inside this story. Can anybody spot it quickly? Oh, Miss Nina, I do know muggy. I've been down south loading watermelons in the middle of the summer heat in Florida and Georgia. I know muggy. Sitting inside an 18-wheeler with no air conditioner? Yeah. Shudder at the thought. Did you find it, Gil?
Well, the only thing I can find is that they've sort of forgot California, which has been here in the Bay Area, near the bay where all the water is and stuff. Yesterday was 106. Right now we're at 104.
Yeah, I said grammatical error, not temperature error.
I mean, they're not even including California. I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, that was just plain
Dumb.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, there you go. On their part.
Lazy.
Yep. Carol, good evening. Mary Beth, hello. I didn't already say it once. All right. If y'all look right where the mouse pointer is, right here, it should actually read Phoenix and Tucson, Arizona, as well as Las Vegas, Nevada. So these 2 people who wrote the story didn't go to English class.
Yeah.
They went to Yahoo and YouTube English. which
No, they
is
went to Cracker Jack box English.
no. At least at Cracker Jack Box English, that's where I learned. You learn how to do things grammatically correct. Might not be able to spell it, but you can do it grammatically correct. But Denver, the Mile High City, hit 100 degrees, a 3-day stretch, which is pretty rough. So, for all my friends and family, because y'all my family too, out west, which would be that way looking at the camera, stay safe, stay cool. If you have to be outside in the yard doing anything, take an ice bucket full of cold water, a little bit of ice, and keep a couple rags in it. As you start getting hot, put a rag around your neck, keep it wet. When that rag starts feeling warm, swap it out with another one. Keep that on your neck. It'll drop your body temperature by almost 10 full degrees. I've done it. I speak from experience. Please keep yourself safe. I don't want to see nobody in a hospital because they got hit by the heat stroke. With that being said, let's go look at our southernmost folks. Down here in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and over here in a little bit in this little area here. Y'all looking at a tropical storm that's headed your way, possibly may upgrade itself into something more severe. They're not sure yet. Neither am I, because I'm not a meteorologist. But I can look at a map and say, oh, crap, guys, be careful.
I'm trying to remember what township.
You go ahead and talk. I got to look outside for a minute. That wind just kicked up immensely outside.
Okay, I'm trying to remember where the Broussards are. What's the name of their the town nearby them, where he works at? Oh man, but now that thing is definitely centered on New Orleans as it heads in there. So yeah, it may not be a hurricane, but it's still going to dump water on St. Charles. Thank you, St. Charles or Lake.
Sorry
Charles.
about that. My alarms went off again.
Yeah, and so I'm going to do a quick little check here just to see on the map where that is.
All right, I got to double check because I just lost image on Dave's live. Hold on. Are we broadcasting?
Yeah, we're live. Dave had to run check out the wind and stuff. So I'm
Right, because I don't have a picture on my cell phone.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing live here, and everybody's out here on the chat talking. Mary Beth says she hopes she gets some rain out of that. Okay, Lake Charles, and Lake Charles is, come on, back out. They're near between Port Arthur and New Orleans. Okay, so yeah, they're in the dark green band. It looks like.
Okay, I got him back.
Yeah, so it looks like they're over there in the dark green band of that storm on the left-hand side, or the westerly side. Hey, our treasured home, how you doing?
Hi, at Treasure Home.
Yeah, Dave will be back. So we have no control over what's going on the screen here right now, because he just got up and ran because all of a sudden the wind picked up. But I can tell you right now, got 104 degree temperature here, and inside here, see if it'll show here.
I'm back.
Where I'm at, if I can get there it is. It shows it at 86 degrees, and the humidity in here is about 54.
Well, my humidity just went to 100%. It's wet. It's outside.
Ooh,
Hello, our
bad.
treasured home. Yeah, the wind is intense. And for those who don't have a security system outside, this is one of the benefits. I'm sitting, headphones on. I can't see much of anything. If I didn't have a security system to see what the wind was doing to the trees and the rain coming down, I wouldn't have known how bad it was outside.
Okay.
But the show must go on.
Ooh, our treasured home is under tornado watch till 11 p.m.
Yep, she's not that far away geographically from me. So, yep.
You missed. I found out where the Broussards were on that last picture.
Where were they?
In the green band on the west side.
Ah.
So they're not getting hit hard like New Orleans is going to get hit.
Well, that's only a projected path. That's not a guaranteed path, by the way. Okay. Next up, for those over by Illinois, I've been to this plant hauling empty 55-gallon barrel drums to them. I never hauled any chemical out of there, so I don't know exactly what all they stuck in them or in what processes they used. But they had a fire over there. And unfortunately, I don't have any good pictures of the fire, but
I
it's a
can
pretty
throw
long
those up
story.
if you want them.
Yeah, I don't have any of the pictures. All it wants to do is run this news feed, and I'd rather not get hit for it.
Here, hang on a second here. Get that over there and share screen. You want the pictures? I got them up.
Yep, just watching outside at the moment. Go ahead.
All right, there you go. And so, yeah, down here's where they started spraying those in the lower left-hand corners where they started spraying the forever chemicals. And if you notice over on where the fire is, that's about a 3-story structure still, so that's full of chemicals. And you see all the metal there has melted and collapsed. That was a hot fire. You see everything in here is all collapsed from the heat. There's another shot of it. And that's what the people are looking at about a mile away. And that's what I have.
Later, Springfield.
Yep, be safe.
They had to leave. They had to run out.
Yeah. They'll be trying to get back here before the stream's over, so hopefully they'll make it. So those are the pictures, 6 pictures that I pulled off. And actually I got most of those from the most unlikely of news sources. Can you guess what that is?
ABC.
It wasn't ABC, wasn't NBC, wasn't any of the American mainstream news
Al
outlets.
Jazeera.
Yes. And they had the best reporting on it, for the time frame.
I have my issues with Al Jazeera, but for the most part, most of the time they do a decent job.
I mean, they were just digging the facts out and trying to put as much out there as they could. Everybody else put up one picture here, or maybe 2 pictures, and yeah, nobody else had pictures of the neighborhoods. But the scary part about this fire is this is the nation's largest
I'll be right back.
producer of grease for commercial and agricultural uses.
Right.
Which means all your tractors out there, construction tractors, they get greased every day, sometimes twice a day. All of your farm equipment gets greased every day. Your trucks on the road, drive lines get greased. All the U-joints, the ball joint, everything gets greased on those suckers. If there's no grease for a couple months, things are going to start breaking down left and right.
Big time.
And
So, folks,
some companies know that if we ain't greasing it, we ain't using it because it's going to cost so much more money to use it and replace all the parts than just sitting there doing nothing. So, yeah, it's this is a big blow. And in March, this last March, they were talking about a grease shortage in the U.S. already.
right. So, folks, get your trucks and cars serviced now. Do the whole works.
And if you have any, farm tractors, small ones like where you use some grease, get some tubes of grease. Get enough to last at least 6 months.
Yeah, I got rain coming through the front of the house now. Yay! Oh,
Through
Yeah,
the front
it-
or out the front?
well, kind of both. Actually, it's coming through the window, so and that's got a 5-foot overhang over top of it for a porch.
Mm.
So yeah, it's moving almost vertical, or
Horizontal.
horizontal. Yeah, I get it. Give me a minute. I'm a little slow in my old age. Anywho,
That's what she said.
yeah, Mr. Joe Biden announces over 300 million Red Dragon vaccinations have been administered. Well, what's the current U.S. population? Current U.S. population in 2021 is 332,915,073, plus or minus about 250,000 dead people and a whole bunch of illegal immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
So,
who's getting all the shots in California.
yep.
The illegal aliens. Cool.
So-
thank you.
I have an issue with this number because either A, almost all of America has been vaccinated, or B, about 50% has, and the other 50% are going, we ain't taking it. Can you say division amongst Americans?
Mm-hmm. Can you say 50% are sheeple?
We already covered the heat wave. Dang, that's hot, man. Steam coming off his leather coat. Oh, wait, maybe he shouldn't be wearing a leather coat. Amazon worker says she can't afford New York City rent with $19 an hour she's paid. And you know what? I know people who worked in a industry in New York, which is Broadway based, and they had all they could barely do to make ends meet.
Yep.
So, well, Shelley Hill or Shelley Pine Tree Hill, if only 15% have taken it, then they have overdosed, over vaccinated that 15%. Either that, they're vaccinating a lot of dead voters' cards. Oh, that looks like they're going. They're good to go. Yeah.
Or they're vaccinating cats. Meow.
And dogs.
Hey, remember, we found this out at the very beginning. Cats and dogs can be susceptible to it.
Yep. So that's what they're doing. They're vaccinating pets.
Meow.
Okay, GOP crushes Manchin's hopes for elections compromise. For those who don't know what this is about making sure we have proper and fair elections, not ones that are bought and paid for by you know who. With the new federal holiday, Juneteenth, or whatever they want to call it, the U.S. Postal Services, guess what? We're going to deliver anyway, even though you've said it's, hey, Ryan, long time no see. Even though they've said it's a federal holiday and the U.S. Postal Service is not supposed to work, they said we're going to work anyway because, you know what, we don't believe you. Oh, wait, that's not what they said.
Hey, Jay.
I said that anyway. Hey, Jay.
Oh, you want to hear something interesting about the Juneteenth date?
Is that what you got up?
No, I don't have it up yet.
Okay.
There's something I was reading earlier about it. Okay, the date that they picked to have it on this year, the only thing it has to do with history, that is the day that some general in Texas announced that the Civil War was over. That's when in the South, when they were saying, okay, it's over.
Well, now, if y'all Northerners, you know what? Never mind. I gotta go there. Never mind. Not going there. Okay, this next item may actually get me put in YouTube jail for a while. Man who spent 4 months, mind you, pay attention to the numbers, folks. 4 months. What was 4 months ago? We're in June.
I've been February
April.
18th.
So yeah, back in February 18th, this guy got put in the hospital forward to Red Dragon, had it up with a double lung transplant. Right there. Read it. CNN reported. Now, anybody with half a brain is going to do what I did. We're going to jump up here to everybody's worst favorite platform, Google, and type in, when did COVID vaccine start? Come down here. When did scientists start phase 1 of trials? Which means, mind you, this is back when they started the trials. This was not available to the general public back then. Mid-March. 2 months ago. 1, 2. Does anybody else see a problem with the math here?
Yeah.
Or is it just me and I'm so old school that I can't math correctly at all?
Yeah, 3 months ago. So you had been in April.
Okay. See?
May,
That seems
June.
to me.
So
3 months.
3 months still. It's 3 months, not 4 months. 3. So he was already had it for a month before they started the trials.
So maybe I'm just a dumb northerner that doesn't know nothing. Of course, I've been called that on YouTube already many times and called many other colorful things, which I don't care. Say what you will. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Ooh, bright lightning. But yeah, and they say it benefits outweigh allergic reaction risk. Everybody that's had a very allergic reaction has been in worse shape than if they'd had this and dealt with it. But that's, just from what I've read. Bittersweet Homestead. Good evening. Do not get me started on Common Core stuff. That whole racist thing that they're trying to promote right now is about ready to really irk my dander. Let's see. New mortgage.
Drought.
Here's everything. Yeah, it's bad. That was close.
Oh, yeah. One Lake Mead is 147 feet below average fill line.
13 stories.
It's down to 37% capacity.
Yep, I seen a news article on that today.
Yeah,
because they were talking about the heat wave. Oh, here's our. Somebody needs to go up there and. Never mind.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see that, right?
Nope.
You picking his nose with your pointer?
Hey, what does that look like?
The hammer.
No. What did we do when we were playing cops and robbers as kids?
Bang bang, bang bang, bang bang.
Yeah, that's why I said y'all didn't see that, right? That was not my intent. Record-breaking heat wave. We've already discussed that. Cryptocurrency. Words are difficult.
Yeah.
Can still make a roaring comeback. Here's how. I don't care. We've recently had something bad happen in Arizona, so thoughts and prayers for the families in Arizona that are dealing with that.
Yeah.
Ooh, my rain is vertical or horizontal at the moment. Lots of lightning, but it's small rain, so I ain't worried about it. When it gets to about the size of a dime or a quarter, then I'll worry about it. In other words, hail.
Okay. At that grizzly bear, I'm looking at the you look what do they lead with the banner there? May be euthanized. Down in the story, may possibly be relocated or euthanized, but they don't put relocated in the banner there because that's not sensational enough to draw people's attention.
Correct. Obamacare wins. Universal closer. Yeah. I hope y'all got some pretty deep bank accounts because they fixing to tax everything you've got in order to pay for all these things that they're trying to push through. Can we say hyperinflation much? You're already seeing the beginning of it. Same thing we faced back in 2008.
Yep.
And now I know there's nobody in here old enough to remember, but if you've listened to your grandparents and parents' stories about what happened during the Great Depression,
Yep.
it's trickling in just as those started. Oh, wait, not to piggyback off of Mr. Corsair Trainers, Mr. Steve himself, who, if you haven't watched his videos, get off your butt and do so.
Mm-hmm.
Steve covered economic issues. And yeah, go do your history research. If you don't like history, then don't do it. And when it hits you smack in the face, I'm sorry. I really am. But you're being warned by people who have followed this, watched this, learned it, researched it to our fingers bled dry trying to type on the keyboard.
Right.
There's
And
a reason
also,
we search this stuff.
Modern Survivalist, his channel, both in English and Spanish. He lived through the 2000 Argentina economic cabal. So he knows what he wrote a book on it too.
Yeah, my mom was born in 1922, so she was, 7 years old when the collapse happened. She was a child of the Depression. My dad was born 6 months after the collapse happened. So,
All right, Mama Z, have a good night.
night, Mama Z. So, yeah, I grew up with parents that had depression hoarding syndrome.
Yep.
And unfortunately, my wife says a bunch of it rubbed off on me. Because I try to find uses for everything.
Yeah, that was my problem. I kind of hoarded a little too much the last apartment. I had it full and didn't have enough room to bring it all here. A valid point, Jay. Valid point.
Yeah.
And remember, how long did it take to get out of the Great Depression, folks?
A war.
No, how long?
It took a war.
So it started in 29. We didn't get out of it till probably the middle of
1946.
42. So it was
It took a
Yeah.
couple years after the war ended before we got back to a normal civilization.
normal, but we got out of the depression during the war. But yeah, it was before then we had to get off of a war-based economic system a couple years afterwards to get back to normal.
This one kind of leaves me scratching my head. Apologizes to Capitol Police on behalf of the actual sane members of our family. That's kind of an insult. New Zealand got hit with a semi-rare tornado,
Yep.
which is what I'm watching for right now.
Then it was an F1 or F2
I don't remember.
because I watched Victoria got flooded out.
Little Mr. Rocket Man, as he's been called many, many times in the past, told his government to get fully prepared for a confrontation with us.
No, poor. Oh, that's an ad.
Yeah,
What?
Poor
It's
City,
this?
Ohio.
Oh, that. Yeah, I ain't worried about that. That's all. That is clickbait.
Let's see. Severe storms state could bring hail, tornado, flash flooding, heat index to 100.
Yeah, my heat index here, even though it won't be there for a little bit, was close to 100.
Yep.
No, Jay, I'm watching for the tornado that's trying to creep up my front door. It's trying. Nuisance declares the state a state of emergency amid heat extreme. Yes, I deliberately said that backwards so I could sound like him.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you really screw it up and try to say it backwards and do an imitation of Yoda at the same time, then you'll sound like Big Joe.
Well, yeah, no, if we'll get on to that. Oh wait, sorry, I do that a little too well. Hey, for our Texas friends, 9,000 acres of rare Texas ranch land is up for sale. Y'all better jump on it. That way, we all got a place to move to.
You better jump on it before Bill Gates does.
Yep.
Bill doesn't
Or
want
the
Texas.
Chinese.
Bill Gates doesn't want Texas. He's buying up stuff in Arizona,
Yep.
and that's actual fact. Oh,
Then
speaking
you
of
buy it
Lake
before,
Mead,
what's her name does? Oprah buys it.
That's Oroville.
Or-
Oroville. That's the Oroville spillway.
Mm-hmm.
this is the reservoir that's behind it,
Yeah,
behind the dam.
and it's almost dry.
We don't care about that.
Nope.
Again, for our friends down south, please keep your eyes on the tropical storm coming.
Got a boat?
Let's see, Arizona sham auditors. What? To secret Montana hideout from Arizona. Well, with all the stuff that's been happening to various audits that's gone around the country, and a certain extreme part of a certain party has gone through and thrown ballots in the garbage.
Mhm.
Not our friends, but the other side. Yeah, I personally would be taking my information somewhere where they couldn't find me and recounting it. And then once it was all done, publish all the results.
Mhm.
Lots of lightning now.
Ooh. Aha! The yellow car there.
My Mustang.
1 in 5 electric vehicle owners in California are switching back to gas because charging their cars is so friggin' expensive.
Yep.
I mean, up here in Northern California, PG&E is bending every customer over the barrel and violating them. Because my wife has not run the AC yet once. Even now with the 104 outside, we're not running the AC. Yet we're in tier 2 energy usage. But basically what PG&E is doing is tacking on all these surcharges with fancy names on it so they can make back all the money they were fined for the fires and build a reserve and keep their bonuses going to the executives. And so the rates are they are ridiculously high up here in Northern California.
Don't it look nice and pretty for me? I am right here. You see that
good
O
God.
and Mason? You see that O and Mason? That's where I'd be at.
You mean that dark purple?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Not the
Not yet.
orange. Not the, or actually it's the light purple. It's not the dark purple surrounding the light purple. It's ugly.
So yeah, it looks nice and pretty, don't it?
Uh-huh.
And I wish I could get that off my screen. Fine, go away. Thank you. And as you can see, it's just kind of curled up around me. It's going to give me a nice big old hug. But it should dissipate pretty quick.
Yeah. Jay's comment. Melinda may get all the. Was it Melinda? What's
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Melinda Gates may get all the Arizona property.
That I wouldn't mind.
He
I
may
wouldn't
have-
mind her getting it.
Yeah, he may have to go after that Texas property to maintain some property.
No, he's getting the stuff in New Zealand.
Yep. Or New Mexico, but that's a joke.
Yeah.
Who wants to buy property in Colorado or New Mexico? Do you know what the forces are working out there? I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't go out there.
Hey, don't tell Reed that.
Reed's right smack in the middle. I keep warning him about this, and he says, "Oh, we'll be fine. I'm used to the desert heat." When it gets 120 and you have a strip going from Colorado down to Mexico, and you're going to, you think Dave's bad with severe winds? It's going to be like, where's the car?
Yeah.
What car? I mean, that funny little black dot that's floating further and further away.
Yeah.
I don't need that kind of a hug there, Miss Queen. Hello, Lori.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
I need a hug, just not the kind from weather. Thanks. Anywho, Biden get called out for disappointing Trump-like habit of hiring senior aides children. I don't know why they're calling them out. They've been doing it since long before either one of those two were in office.
Right. It's called
No reason-
nepotism.
Right. The only reason they're saying it now is because they didn't like Trump when he was in office, so they said something about it. And now those same people who called out Trump are calling out Biden. Again, folks, I said back in January, early February, they were going to make it sound like he was unfit for public office. The more there was a news report today after he left the G7 summit that he became belligerent and angry and then remorseful and all these funny little idiosyncrasies that belong to people who have bipolar syndrome.
Right. And also was lost by the twice by the Secret Service. He wandered off.
So
Once at the G7 summit and once at the meeting with the Queen. The Queen was wondering where was he, and they found him wandering around on palace grounds.
So just prepared. Watch the news. It's coming slowly. They
Yep.
don't want to rush it. They can't do to him like they did to Trump. They can't try and rush it through all at once and have it fail. They got to make sure they do it nice and slow.
So which
Jupiter
one you
be-
went? The
Huh?
retrograde?
Yeah, I was going to go the retrograde. If you are a person who likes watching the stars, which I do, it's about to start spinning backwards. There's a key astronomical data point that starts that. If you don't understand, go watch Suspicious Observers and watch the Catastrophe series, the whole series, because each one explains something else. And you'll begin to understand that there is a cyclical event that happens on this planet, and other planets are affected at the same time. It's because, we don't sit stationary in space. Not only are we moving, our sun's moving, our galaxy is moving, everything is moving. Nothing sits stationary. And we kind of wobble up and down through the galactic sheet. But in order to understand it, you're going to have to go watch his videos. I'm not qualified to explain it enough for y'all to understand it.
Yeah, I get a
Sorry.
headache listening to it sometimes.
That's why I'm not doing it. Because you still got a live stream to do. I hope not.
California says that they don't have to, is saying that they're not going to have to. There's an
Well,
article that I saw today.
here's another thing that I caught today. Hold on. No, they probably won't. They'll just put out an Amber Alert or whatever they call an old person's alert.
They lost somebody?
Biden.
Oh, we're always looking for Biden. He's wandering around someplace. Check the
Anyway.
schoolyards.
No, please, no. Anyway, a bunch, and I don't mean one or two, I mean a bunch of pediatricians are suddenly backtracking on the fact of vaccinating young children. They're backtracking it. They're saying maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be doing this. Because those who are developing severe heart issues after having the vaccines are younger, middle-aged people, not us old fogies. So they're trying to figure out the correlation to it, because those people are generally healthy. Yeah, thank you, Ryan. Silver alert. Watch your news. Silver alert. Continuing coverage. Silver alert from the U.S. government. Oh, wait. That's not what that is. Yeah, I'm not worried about any of this. Definitely not worried about the conditions. Oh, Disney's making big changes. Yay. Now it's repeating. It's repeating. It's a broken record.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. Time to open it up from the side chat. What y'all got to say?
And let's see what I can find on my list. I'm going to change my thing and go to my list for Dave's Friday chat. Let's see what we got. Got to find the playlist first. Oh, here we go.
There's enough news available every single day. I could do a nightly news recap every single day of the week and still not cover it all after 3 hours.
Let's see.
Fishes, that won't happen. No. That he is not the one.
Okay, how about this? Dave Chipman lied about losing his gun during Waco.
Don't even know who he is.
He's supposed to be going to be the Democrat select to head the ATF. And
Oh,
here's
so
a-
he lied on a government document. Oh hell,
Yeah.
he's a sure-in.
And then
He's
let's
sure in
see. There's another one about Dave Chipman. Dave Chipman lied about accidental discharge into suspect's car.
Oh, he's a sure win then. He'll get every vote there is.
I thought
Even
that
the
was
dead,
funny.
even the dead people who are against him are going to vote for him. Come on,
Yeah.
this is democratic rule.
Let's see.
And yes,
China,
folks, I was being slightly facetious, but that's how it's been working the last several years.
okay. Giant, massive sinkholes are, oh God, are appearing. They're appearing all over the place of China where Sichuan is, like swallowing cars and everything.
Well, right now, Sichuan, China, matter of fact, most of the Chinese landmass is being heavily flooded right now. So
Yes.
yeah, the sinkholes are going to show up because there's a lot of ancient, kind of like in Israel and some other old areas. There are older cities that are buried under hundreds of years of dirt and rubble that this rain is finding its way into, and it's washing it out and creating massively huge holes underground. And then when somebody gets mad, stomps their feet, and they throw a temper tantrum, it's going to create a big hole that they fall into.
Right. China saves Three Gorges Dam by dynamite 16 miles of the river to flood the farmlands. Hundreds of thousands of peasants are seeking refuge. They have a little photo of people paddling in tubs.
Yeah, there's several nations right now that are suffering from extremely unseasonal flooding problems. I'm not going to bring it up because some of the pictures are kind of disheartening. I don't want to post too many sad stories, but thoughts and prayers go out to the families who are dealing with these extreme floods because they're in an area and let's put it the way it is. Let's go to a different standpoint.
Hey, prep for it.
Hey, Brett. No,
Hey,
they're not
Tasha.
trying to hypnotize. They're not trying to hypnotize me anymore. I done beat them at their own game.
Yeah, there's too many things that's going on in the world. Also, funny things too.
It says in a certain book that I may or may not have one or two sitting kind of next to me at all. That judgment will come upon certain areas where governments are, how can I say this without getting smacked too hard by YouTube?
After their own interests and not that of the people.
Well, that's one way of putting it. We'll go on with that one. Yeah.
Or a higher power.
Yeah, definitely.
Something just popped in my mind with that. Hop in the Wayback Machine about 20 years ago.
Oh, don't do that. My head spins.
The Hebrew National Hot Dog commercial, where someone's dressed up like Uncle Sam, and it says the government says we can put blah 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 in our buns. We don't. The government says we can do this in our hot dogs. We don't. The government says we can add fillers. Blah blah blah. We don't. We don't. We answer to a higher power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a good one. Israel versus American Jews in New York City, which I find kind of interesting because I think Donald Trump did an interview on this on British TV.
Well, here comes part of the problem. And American Christians and American Jews, and I'm not speaking for all of them. No, mind you, this is a smaller, well, it's actually getting to be a bigger percentage in this day and age. They like to have things that tickle their ears. And if you're letting somebody tickle your ears, you're not hearing the truth. And, well, you know what? There are some Jews over in Israel who fail to see what's written on the wall and also listen to people who like to tickle their ears. I tend to believe what the book says, and the book says that this very stuff would be happening in the latter days, and therefore I tend to believe it. The Bible says it's going to happen this way, and guess what? It's happening this way.
Hey, Dave.
Ouch. I felt that one over here. Oh, wait, that was a thunder.
Yeah, my computer's getting a little hot, and I'm going to bow out of here now so I can give it a couple of minutes to cool down before my live stream starts. And
okay. Yeah, you just didn't want to hear me spout Bible stuff. I see how you
no.
was.
No,
I'm kidding. I was kidding.
Just,
kidding.
I'll spout it with you too, but so I'm just going to throw my link up there, and then I'm going to slip out of here and let my computer cool down for 5-10 minutes before I start the other get ready to start the other stuff.
No problem.
All righty.
See ya.
Everyone, take care. See you in about 15 minutes.
Yep. Now, Dave,
Okay.
do you want to talk about what's going on with the new government in Israel or not?
I actually haven't had time to dive into the new gentleman who's assumed control of the helm, so we say. So I don't know his religious or political background. I do know that the coalition that was founded to oust Benny is a very unstable one.
Yeah.
Therefore, I do not expect this to last very long if the coalition doesn't put itself together. That doesn't mean it is or is not God's wish for this to happen. That's between them and him. I'm not going to get in the middle of it. I'm not going to pass any judgment. All I can do is look and say, I agree or disagree with what's going on. And you know what? I don't care what anybody says. This is America. I was born an American. I am actually Native American. I got more Indian in me than Nancy Pelosi and half the people on Capitol Hill.
What's that lady who ran last year told everybody she was
Little Miss Pocahontas.
Yeah. She's not Indian. She's Scotch Irish.
Yeah. Anyway, this is America. I'm Native American mainly, although I do have European roots, just like all of us do. My father's mother and father, which means he was too, was full-blooded Cherokee Indian. So I got a right to say something about this. This is my country. I was born here. My family's been raised here. And I'm going to say this to anybody else. We have a God-given right to agree to disagree. If you don't like what I'm saying, then disagree with me. That's cool. So let's go and grab a coffee together afterwards. So we disagree. Big deal. I don't care. I'm not going to hold it against you because you don't agree with what I'm saying. Let's go have a cup of coffee and find something we do agree on.
Right.
Why can't we find some common ground?
You're in Ohio, right?
Uh-huh.
And you got your son in you. You could be an Indian tribe and open up a casino. That way you can put slot machines and you get legal income.
No, I'm not. See, back when my blood father died, his name was Gerald, full-blooded Cherokee Indian. When he died, I had the opportunity at that time to enter the rolls of the National Cherokee Nation on the tribal membership, get my name put in there, and start earning what they call a per cap. Hey, Courtney.
Hey,
and
Courtney.
That would have allowed me to live fairly comfortably. Mind you, this was 2004. So I'd be living in North Carolina right now, living high off the hog. And that's not my lifestyle. It's not me. I didn't take advantage of a system that's put in place to make people weak. I decided to bust my butt and work for a living and try to do the best I could do. I ain't perfect. I kind of stumbled a few times. But you know what? We all have our moments where we make small mistakes. The key issue is, do we learn from it and fall down again, or do we pick ourselves back up, knock the dirt off, and get moving forward?
Everybody also be careful. I've been mentioning on my videos about the real estate scam that's going on. The other scam that I've been working on is the lumber pricing. The Department of Justice is now investigating price gouging and marketeering or racketeering in the lumber industry. And they said they're going to investigate this matter now. I wish they did it last year.
Well, the news report came out, and it's not from a widely known news source, so therefore its reputation could be marginal at best. I'll give them that. So I'm not saying they're 100% spot on, but there's a good chance that they're pretty close. They stated in their little news article, which I can't find it now, so maybe it got pulled down, that current prices of lumber will not go back down where we seen them back in 2020. They are going to stay overinflated. And like I mentioned earlier, Steve today covered economic issues where certain things never go back down, which drives the inflation price of other things up. You already seen it at the grocery store. Meat that used to cost $5 is now costing $13. What used to cost a 2x4 of $4 is now $13 in some states, $7 in others. Here it's like $8. Okay. I'm sorry. Only got the truth.
Yep.
How can they do that to people? Because the people up here, not us little people way down here, but the people way up here, the people with big pockets, big bank accounts say, hey, I see an opportunity. Let's not let a good disaster go to waste.
Yep. Now screw everybody.
That's one way of putting it. I wasn't going to go there, but you did. Thank you. What did Ryan say? Awesome. So all to my narrative American people. Ow. Anywho. So just, we've been spouting it for years as people who try to be prepared for virtually anything. With the cost of everything growing up, if you don't, growing up?
Going up.
Well, while we grow up and things are going up, we all should be prepping up. And I can't stand the word prepping, but it is a pertinent word at this moment. Right. You need to prepare. You need to have extra of everything. If you don't have it now, you may not get it. I said that a few months ago, and look where the prices have gone. The prices are still going up.
Through the roof.
You need to have what you need to have and already have it in the house. If you're not making a garden, which trust me, I wish I could have a garden where I'm at. I can't yet. There's too much other stuff in the way and too many other things going on before I can actually start a garden. So I might actually be SOL when it comes to certain things that I want to have, like lots of cucumbers. I love me some cucumbers. I may burp a lot afterwards, but it is what it is. I like my cucumbers. Don't mind me. I'm kind of watching a little teeny spider that's only about that big, but he looks like he's that big on my monitor. He's in front of my security camera.
Right. Now, folks,
it'd probably freak some people out.
True. But folks, if you don't have your food closet packed with 30 days of food, do it now. Empty out your closet, rip out all the clothes, put in shelves, pack it from the top to the bottom with food. 30 days worth. I keep telling this to people.
And well, let's get real. If FEMA says one number, and Gil will back this up if he was here, he'd nod his head yes. Yep. FEMA's telling people 6 months. Okay. Whatever number you hear from your government, in history, bear this out to a beautiful point of perfection. Whatever your government starts telling you, you better triple or quadruple that number. Okay. And if we wind up in a depression, like, the 2008 depression only lasted 2 years. So by 2009, we started crawling back up out of it, or 2010, I mean. So we started crawling back out of that mini depression. That was just a housing market boom. It went.
Yep, that was the market bubble. Poop.
And they're talking it may go poop again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time it may poop everywhere, and it won't be pretty rainbow-colored unicorn poop anywhere. It's going to be nasty, disgusting feces on everybody's lawn, and y'all ain't going to want to have to deal with it. But guess what? We don't have a choice. We are at the bottom of the totem pole. We're the ones sitting with our eyes just above ground level going, yo, people up top, can you grab a branch and pull yourselves up a little bit? I'd like a little bit more air.
Right. And also, folks, this bubble is caused by, I can't say it because YouTube might dock us for it, but it's a company called BlackRock that is sponsored by CCP. If anybody remembers those letters and understand what that means, you got a good idea. I keep telling people, look at Vancouver, British Columbia, Vancouver. Right now, they have the triads, the CCP, crooked banks, casinos, you name it. It's an open, wild city. And guess where all the new drugs are coming from? Dave?
Oh, I know where they're coming from.
You see, me and Dave knows, but it's funneling in through Vancouver into the States. And a lot of the triad are patriotic Chinese of the bad guys, not the good guys of Taiwan. The bad guys are sneaking. God, should have joined the triads. I'd been a billionaire by now and wouldn't be on YouTube.
No, we wouldn't have the great Uncle Al with us.
Now, Uncle Al would be probably out in the bay dead.
Yes, Fish, I agree with that. We would definitely like to see a pre-trib rapture ASAP. Pretty please. But let your will be done, not our will be done, Lord.
You live in Canada, Lori. You got
Yep.
Trudeau, and Trudeau's pocket's so deep with the Chinese, he should just speak Mandarin. That's a lot funnier.
Hey, Dustin, welcome.
Hi, Dustin.
Oh, I already sleep with one eye open. That's because, I get that nervous little twitch at night, It's from all that wonderful, beautiful Monsanto GMO junk I've ate over the years driving truck.
Yep.
So I get a little nervous twitch every now and then. Oh, that actually hurt. Ouch.
Okay, I got 3 minutes, so I'm heading over to Gills.
Okay, go get him warmed up. Make sure he's good to go.
Yep.
So you don't have to sit there and look at my whole face. We'll do this. There. See, now I'm little again. And Gil channel has a lot of room for open chat. And Courtney's already been there and said, hello, happy Father's Day. Oh, yeah, it's that time of year, isn't it? So to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Excuse me, which is coming up in a few days. All right, Mary Beth, good night. Sleep tight. So, any current questions, comments, or other concerns from the chat before we shut her down for the evening? And thank you for you folks who have been here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Your thoughts, comments, and concerns are always welcome. And I've still got plenty of a light show outside, although the rain has deceased. At least for the time being. Thank you, Ryan, for dropping his link in there for us. So with that being said, it looks like a few of you are all running away. I'm going to go ahead and shut this one down. Y'all have a great evening. If we see you over at Gills, awesome. If not, we will catch you next Tuesday on another SOP live stream. Until then, be safe.